welcome back to Ball Boys. Today we're gonna be talking about, as the NFL season is wrapping up, we'll be discussing the last four teams and potentially the last two teams who we think they are.
Yep.
And we're gonna get into some college football, discuss our Buckeyes,
NBA is in full swing.
and some trade ideas that we may have.
We're at the trade deadline. All-Star break is in February, so we're going to get into kind of the season, because the season really, sometimes it just feels like just starts in January.
Yeah.
The beginning of basketball is like a fever dream, but let's get into it, Tyler.
All right.
So, NFL, we got the AFC and NFC Championship this weekend. We got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC, and we got the Detroit Lions and who's the other team?
San Francisco 49ers.
San Francisco 49ers. I keep forgetting about the Niners because they only play one game.
I would say they only played one game, and they didn't look too impressive in that game.
No, but they're gonna. We'll break it down. We want to break that one down first.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the more interesting game out of the two. That might be controversial. I feel like it's the more interesting game out of the two.
Why?
Because
break that down.
We we don't know these teams as well as we know the Ravens and the Chiefs. I feel like those two teams are very status quo. People have been talking about them for a long time. The Chiefs they're what, sixth or seventh AFC Championship?
Six.
We know that they're going to bring it. The Ravens have been playing great all season, so they're going to bring it. But I really don't know what's going to happen in this Detroit and Niners game.
I feel like it's kind of crazy that you said that, and the reason why I say that is because I feel like watching a lot of sports talk TVs or whatever. I feel like a lot of people do kind of like talk about and give a lot of praise or a lot of criticism to the Niners, especially towards Brock Purdy, which is
rightfully so.
Which I think is warranted either way you throw it. So I do think I think that's the only part that I was like, all right, I don't know why he said that. I don't.
I mean, do you think that's valid? Do you think I'm off for thinking that?
I think that
I think it's more unpredictable here because Jared Goff and
the Lions,
Campbell are gonna run the piss out of the football, and so are the 49ers.
I don't think they're gonna run the ball like this. I think
the 49ers ain't gonna run the ball, or the Lions.
I think the Lions aren't gonna run the ball. I think that what they're gonna try to do is I think they're gonna be like, yo, you have one corner that I'm absolutely for sure I'm hesitant about, and that's Tre'Davious Ward. The rest of them, I don't give a fuck about nan one of them. You're safe because
if you're game planning,
your safeties don't scare me, and
your defensive line scares me a lot.
One of the best O lines in the league. Hey, shout out to Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker, like them boys. They be blocking. So it's like I feel like I wouldn't say it's complete and utter like wash, but I do think it's leaning towards a wash. Their Lions offensive line versus the Niners defensive line, and hopefully it's not if you're the Niners, you don't want that to be the wash. You want your guys to win for a lot of reasons, but I do think
the key matchup,
the number one thing that they don't want to do is I don't think they want to blitz. I think
you want to get pressure with Nick Bosa and Chase Young. The biggest matchup of this game is going to be Penei Sewell versus Nick Bosa, because Nick Bosa is typically on that right side. I think Nick Bosa has to at least make them draw a double team and open it up for the rest of the defensive line.
I disagree. I think the number one matchup to watch for that game is Amon-Ra St. Brown versus Tre'Davious Ward. I think depending on what happens with that matchup throughout the night, every ball you can get completed on, like, especially let's say they're playing man to man or whatever, every ball you can get to St. Brown to get down the field is going to mean a lot.
But they're not. The Lions aren't a team to throw Jared Goff 35, 40 times.
Yes, they are.
I don't think they're going to do that. The run game has won them a lot
You
of
haven't
games.
been watching a lot of Lions game this year.
I have.
All they do is throw the ball.
They depend on the run game to clutch up.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You don't watch the Lions. The Lions are a throw first team. When in doubt,
I'm not saying they're a run first
out.
team, but I'm saying they depend on the run game in those clutch situations.
I think they do.
They put a lot on Montgomery, and they put a lot on what's his name?
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, Jahmyr. But I disagree because
if they don't,
watching the Lions, they're a very much a balanced team. They're a good balanced team. So I feel like
but you expose them if you make them one-dimensional. If they can't run the football and they absolutely have to throw on every single down, then
I think they can do it.
That's a problem.
I feel like with a lot of other teams, that's a problem. Like I feel like if the Niners can't run the ball at all, I think that's a problem. I think if the Lions are left to their devices and the Lions are just have to throw the ball, yeah, they can win just throwing the ball. They don't they run the ball because they like the balance, they like their backs, but they don't have to run the ball. If they need to because again, no offense, with a lot of teams, let's say the Bills early in the season, the Chiefs early in the season, a lot of teams that can't necessarily have the offensive line to block in the running game and or the running back to run in the run game. A lot of the time when people are just trying to quick outs, quick check downs, something quick out, a quick wide receiver screen or something like that, I think a lot of that helps kind of if you don't have a really good run game.
But
helps.
the Lions work short to long. They start out with the run game, then they do some play action with Jared Goff, get him going.
Well, how many Lions games have you watched?
I've watched like 5 or 6 this year.
Mark,
and most
every
of them,
Lions game,
they've run the football early, made it a point, or at least try and make it a point that we're going to run the ball all fucking game. And then right when they think that, guess what I'm doing? I'm pulling out. I'm throwing some dinks and dunks, and then Jared Goff's on that third or fourth time going to peek his eye downfield, and someone's going to be open.
I feel like I've probably watched about eight of their games. I watched both of their Green Bay games. I watched both of their Chicago games. The game they played against the Saints, of course, everyone watched their first game against the Chiefs. That was the standalone game of the year. And I watched both of the Vikings games. Every time I watch the game, I feel like they do make it a point to be physical, and a lot of the time, being physical is by leaning on to their run game and running the ball.
Yeah, and
that's the physicality part. But they're in a sense they're not a finesse team offensively.
No,
they're a very physical team, but they throw the ball amazingly.
No, I'm not discounting. Trust me, I'm not discounting when I say that the pass game at all. Like Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Sam Laporta, those guys have been putting in work. Even Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield, they got a good pass game going. Jared Goff's playing the best football of his career at this point. So it's not really discounting their pass game. It's just, like you said, they're a physical team. Dan Campbell's a guy that wants to make a point that you're going to bend to my will. And there's a lot of offensive linemen out there over the years that say, if you want to make your offensive line comfortable, you run the ball early so you get that defensive line on their heels, to so to speak. And they're a good enough offensive line where if we start running the ball early and everybody knows it, we could still get something going.
I feel like, I don't know,
if I want to make those defensive ends think. It's like with the Browns. If you drop back to pass 40 times, that's the worst thing you could do against Myles Garrett. You drop back to pass 40 times. And
unless
have an
you
average
do it in
offensive
December.
line.
If you do it in December, you'll be fine.
Historically, people have stopped Myles Garrett, with the exception of, he's starting to wake up a little bit. But when you run at the man, generally he just runs around the run play if you run at him. It makes those defensive linemen think about what you're actually going to do. So running the ball early, that's why I say that. And then eventually they're going to, stick on the pass game. They're going to give you a heavy dose of Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra and
hey, I'm going to cat with you guys.
They're going to do their screen passes and stuff like that. And then as soon as that stalls, guess what they're doing? Bringing it back to the run game.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're the Lions, throw it on these. They're cool. They all right. Throw it on them. Don't. Hey, ain't no reason to get gun shy now. This is where we lay it all. This is where you lay it all on the line. Fuck a punt. I don't care. 4th and 15. I don't give a fuck where I'm on the field.
Big nuts.
As long as I'm not on my 1 yard line, I'm going for it. I can be on the 2. I'm still going for it. We put it all out there this year. That's all that matters.
I want to talk about the Niners now. The Niners offense. What they're absolutely going to have to run the ball, especially if they don't have Debo. They're going to have to lean way more. They're going to
run the ball anyway. They're going to run the ball with Debo.
Yeah, but if Debo isn't there, there's not. Debo Samuel is a focal point of that offense, and him not being there.
I disagree with that.
Kind of puts the offense in a spot.
I think the focal point of the offense is Christian McCaffrey. It's just that
now
No, I feel like it's especially since Christian got traded. I think that he's always been like
he's the focal point, but a focal point is Debo. Debo is a huge part of that offense.
Yeah, because of what he does with running the ball and his pass catching ability. But I do think,
and even him just being a decoy for those run plays, and he puts in work blocking, and it takes pressure off of Brandon Ayuk. It takes pressure off of George Kittle in that pass game, But
I feel like they're going to run the ball. I feel they're going to run the ball because any game that they've had to put the ball in Brock's hands repeatedly, especially early, they've lost that game. So it's like they're going to run the ball because Detroit's defensive line they're cool, they're all right. They're not really that good. You can very easily blow Detroit off the ball.
Very mediocre.
They aren't that great of a defense. Like they can get stopped. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Detroit is complete and utter bad, but I do think that Detroit, their defense is the weak point. And I think the weakest point of that defense, other than their corners are the weakest part. Yeah. But their D-line's nothing special.
Yeah, and the worst case scenario for the Lions is if the Niners get out in front and they have to abandon that physicality in the first quarter, like we were talking about.
But
if they have to abandon the run game immediately because
But they can do that. That's the best part about the Detroit Lions is they can sit there and they can be down, how do you say this? They can be down 14 and they have the offense, they have the receivers, they have the pass game to get them back into a game.
I want to say it.
They have the pass game to get them back into a game. The Niners,
but the Niners defense is good enough to hold a lead.
To hold a lead. I wouldn't say that.
If they get up 2 touchdowns early, that's a problem. If they give up 2 drives, big plays to McCaffrey, that is the worst case scenario.
I disagree. I think that's something that's bad for their defense, but for offensively for the Lions, I think that, all right, cool. So we aren't going to use as much David Montgomery, so we're going to have more Jahmyr Gibbs in the games on more plays more than not. But other than that, it's like they're not really going to change their ways. Because again, their pass game is so prolific that it does not hurt. It does not hurt them when they have to sit there and drop back and they have to throw the ball about 30, 40 times a game.
I think the physicality for them is important. I feel like
the physicality is important.
Them coming out and being a physical football team, if you take the ability from the offensive line to be physical and kind of push through that defensive line and the run plays and stuff like that, because they don't have time to do that, that's a problem. Because then
I don't think it's that much of a problem.
It lets Chase Young and Nick Bosa predict these guys are throwing the ball every single time. I can't wait until Jared Goff.
That's why they have amazing tackles. Again, their tackles are really that great. Like Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker are really, really great tackles.
Okay, but they're also really great defensive ends. And then also you have Teron Armstead, who's no slouch up at the middle too.
Okay, that's fine, and I would settle that because at that point you're gonna sit there and you're gonna spread everything out, and everything's gonna be spread out, and that's cool.
Yeah,
you're gonna rush. If you're just gonna sit there and rush
best.
forward, if you're gonna sit there and rush forward, guess what? He's going to pick you apart. He's gonna, because again, the other corners on that San Fran team are not that good. They're not, and the Lions receiving core is deep. It's deep, and then Sam Laporta also comes in. Jahmyr Gibbs is a great.
I think Sam Laporta might have a hard time if they turn one dimensional.
I disagree. I've watched again all the games I watch. He doesn't he's a good blocker. He's not a great blocker. He's not George Kittle when it comes to blocking, but he shines in the pass game.
I'm not saying he's not a good pass catcher. I'm saying that the Niners linebackers are no slouches.
Okay, cool. So then
they're not slouches.
Cool. You're not slouches, but at some point you're going to get lost. You're going to get lost.
Yeah,
it's
but
just
Jared Goff can also get lost. I think that's where this all breaks down, is that eventually Jared Goff is going to be that guy who is very much flawed as a quarterback. Eventually, he's going to pat the ball and not see something. He's not a mobile guy, so he's not really running like crazy. He's going to get sacked. They need this run game.
I don't think they need a run game how you're saying that they need the run game.
They need a complementary. They can't be one-dimensional. They can't get behind in this game.
They can. I think if you reverse it, I think it's worse if the Niners get behind. If the Niners are down 14 in the game,
that's a problem.
They can't run the offense how they need to run their offense.
Brock Purdy absolutely cannot throw the ball 40 times. Absolutely not.
So again, I do believe the Lions have the better offense. They may not have the better numbers offensively. They may not have the better numbers, but the better team. What's that?
Breaking news. Jim Harbaugh goes to the Chargers.
Oh, wow. No one cares. No one cares. No one cares about that team.
Ooh.
No one cares about him. The Chargers are going to be bad. They're going to fire him after a few years.
Let's call our picks for this game and then move on to the AFC Championship.
Oh, Lions by $1 billion, as the kids say.
$1 billion?
No, but I think that I think it could be a good game. I'm thinking something around the score of either way you want to slice it, like 31-27 or 35-24. I'm gonna settle on 35. I'm gonna settle on 31-27. Have Lions winning.
I'm gonna go on a whim and say this is gonna be a high scoring game. And it's going to be 35-32 Lions. That's a big one, but I think there's going to be a lot of scoring.
Let me change. I think if the Lions were to win this game, I believe the score will be something like 28, 14, or 28-21.
All right.
Well, I'm going to settle on 28-14.
So we both got Lions Super Bowl.
I have the Lions going to the Super Bowl, yes.
So AFC Championship. Absolutely no surprises here. The Baltimore Ravens won their divisional game easily. And they also
a lot of goofy niggas were questioning if they can win.
There's more
playoff.
There's
games.
more memes about Josh Allen losing to Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs too. So
I just want to say, I don't know where the Cancun meme came from. I'm pretty sure it's a basketball meme first.
Yeah,
but it's a beautiful meme.
It is.
It's a beautiful meme.
Are you talking about the one where it's like the dudes on the beach, and then it's like the Eagles seeing the Cowboys after the divisional round, and then they hold up like a piece of paper, and it's like the ringing.
No, it's more like just the whole like, oh, you're going to Cancun. It's like, why did they start that? I really don't remember. I do remember.
It was a banana. This roots from a banana boat thing from LeBron. It's LeBron, Dwayne Wade.
I don't think it is.
No, it is because the banana boat.
I don't think this Cancun.
The banana boat picture is in Cancun. Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron. All were in Cancun.
Okay, they could have. They probably were in Cancun. They're friends, but I'm just.
But this is where like the Cancun meme was
I don't
was
think
a
that's where
joke
the
before the
Cancun
meme. It was a joke before memes.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, but I have I'm not gonna waste time. I have the Baltimore Ravens winning this game.
Let's break it down. Give it to me, Tyler.
I think the Chiefs, this last little, especially their playoff run, has been fueled by their run game.
Pacheco's been on fire.
Yeah, Pacheco's been amazing. Patrick Mahomes does what Patrick Mahomes does. He pulls out his ass.
This is the best offense they've played all season.
Actually, yeah.
This is the only reason why I give them a chance in hell, a puncher's chance. That's about all they're getting from me. Because they've never faced a defense like this.
I think the key to the game, if you're Baltimore, is scoring early and often. Like, hopefully, if you're Baltimore, you hope that you go in the half 21-0. Like, you want to build a lead and you want to score early, often, and you want to make sure you keep points on the board. I'm not sitting here calling for a blowout or anything like that, but I am saying that you have the defense to stop them, and the receivers are getting right. Like, no matter how you would say that the receivers have been acting throughout the year.
Rashee Rice,
the receivers are kind of coming into form right now.
Travis Kelce had 2 touchdowns last week as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So that's what you don't want, is Patrick Mahomes getting comfortable in the pocket and, dealing to Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift going crazy in the stands. We don't need that. Jason Kelce throwing beer on fans and looking like a WWE superstar.
Did he throw beer on a fan?
No, I think he was chugging.
No, he was chugging beer.
He was throwing it on himself and was getting on fans in front of him because.
Oh, but that's Bill Mafia. They love it.
Yeah, it's Bill's Mafia. They're good. They're good sports. They're as close to Midwest as in the East Coast as you can get.
Oh.
They're just
New York is a very big state.
Yeah.
So they
Western New York is basically like you got a lot of Pennsylvania, Ohio type people there.
I love it. Actually, funny enough, a friend of mine, her dad has a place out in the Buffalo area on a lake. I think that's nice.
It's a nice area.
But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things about what happened in that Bills game about especially how effectively that the Bills were able to run the ball. And again, the pass plays were there for the Bills.
Not even
their receivers just
don't even think about.
They got unlucky.
Take out James Cook in that equation. Look how good Josh Allen ran the ball.
Yeah.
You think Josh Allen? What do you think Lamar Jackson's about to do to this defense? He's about to double it and pass it on. There is not a chance in hell you can let Lamar Jackson get loose like you did Josh Allen and expect to win this game. That is the worst case scenario. Then that clock keeps running. It's not going to stop. They're going to stay in bounds. And if they get that lead, Tyler, the game's over. The game's over at halftime.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I think that if they get a lead, and again, if they get a substantial lead, this isn't going to be a cute game. I think the best thing, if you're the Chiefs, is to try to keep the game close. No matter, even if you can get a lead, I do think Baltimore is good enough, especially with that defense, to get right, fix whatever mistakes they have offensively and defensively to come back and to win this game. So personally, I think that if you're the Chiefs, if you can get a lead, try your best to keep that lead, and if you're behind, try to keep the game close.
It's also a top scoring defense in the league.
Yeah.
If they cannot turn the ball over to this defense because of that Ravens run game. If Patrick Mahomes has multiple picks in this game, you can kiss this game goodbye because you're not getting that ball back.
Hey.
Lamar Jackson's gonna run the ball.
Dalvin Cook get some more yards. Let's go.
Did Dalvin even play?
Yes, he did. I think he got like a 13. He had like 13 yards, which is kind of funny because
I mean, it's gonna be. Let's be real. It's gonna be Gus. It's gonna be Justice. It's gonna be
Dalvin.
Be Cook.
No, it's Dalvin. Yeah, D
Cook. It's gonna be 3 guys. It's gonna be 3-4 guys running the football. You'll get a stiff dose of Isaiah Likely.
Mark Andrews may be back.
I don't think so.
Like I think that
if they do, it's gonna be just to fuck with the Chiefs and make them think about it.
I
really
don't think it's just
they need him.
They don't, but it's also like he gives you great pass catching ability.
Yeah, but so does
Isaiah Likely gives you more of the run after the catch.
What are you gonna do? I guess you could put 2 tight ends on the field.
Yeah,
I'd rather have 2 tight ends. I'd rather have Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely on the field with Zay Flowers than putting 3 receivers on the field with 1.
I would say, Mark, what do you? No offense to whoever their other backup tight end, their third tight end is.
You're a blocker.
Yeah, he is a blocker, but that's the beauty about Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is a blocker, and then he also has that. So now I do think it's kind of beautiful because of the connection that Likely and Lamar have developed since Andrews has been out. Hey, there's a lot of trust there. A lot of people like Mark. It's like, do I follow the guy that can run? Do I follow the guy that just like fucked up his leg a little bit ago? Where do I go? I don't think
Mark Andrews plays. I think they're gonna drag.
I think Mark Andrews.
I think they're gonna drag the injury. If he does play, he's gonna be on a snap count for sure. He's not gonna have a
100%.
If they use him, it's gonna be in the Super Bowl, and because the Super Bowl's 2 weeks after the AFC Championship.
I feel like if he doesn't go in this, I don't think he plays in the Super Bowl. And the only reason why I say he doesn't play is because
they're gonna hang his name out there though. It's one of those things that teams do, where it's like, okay, I guess you're doing like gamesmanship because you're like trying to fuck with the other team's game plan.
Yeah.
But like,
my thing is, I think that if he doesn't play, we won't see him until next year. And the only reason why I say that is because I don't think that they want to, in a sense,
ruin his career.
Yes, but also I feel like they have to get him. They also want to get him more like, all right, we want you to get used to getting hit. And all that other stuff. Like we want you to get used to. We want you to get used to just being back in the game. So I do think that there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff like that. They're like, all right, if he doesn't play this game, there's not a lot of other, like, in a sense, a lot of other times to where he's gonna get hit to where he can get used. He can kind of get used to everything kind of like.
Oh no, bro, it's his hip. He's not playing.
He probably is playing.
No, because there's no way.
Mark, Cam Akers, Cam Akers towards ACL came back by the end of the season.
ACLs are different though. Science has come so far.
Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles and was like,
I know,
actually ready to come back.
But I feel like there's not much the medical industry can do with healing bones. You can't make a bone heal faster. You can introduce things to your body to make your ligament.
Yeah, we just give you drugs. And the drugs, hey, this is going to numb you up good enough.
If you go out there with a hip injury, you end your career. You can potentially end your career. It could be over.
Mark,
it could be
irreversible. Why I get low.
If you tear your ACL again, okay, I guess you're just going to go through rehab again, like sit out a year maybe. Like look at OBJ. He tore his ACL in the same knee 2 years in a row. All he did was take a year off and then come back.
How are you going to be surprised if he comes out there and plays?
Mark Andrews?
Yes. Oh, that's crazy. You're a wild man. I wouldn't be surprised.
If he does, it's going to be on a snap count.
Yeah, he just came off an injury.
It's going to be very low because that's a serious injury.
I think
when you're talking about hips and like more so things in your core, that is much more important than like a knee or a shoulder or an arm. Like hips and backs are catastrophic injuries to tight ends.
I think he does play on. He's of course going to play on a snap count. I don't think that's a question. He just came off injury,
and even if he does, he's gonna like show up like maybe 3-4 times at the beginning of the game, and then they'll set him down.
I disagree with that. I think that depending on the flow of the game, he'll be out there.
Depending on the flow of the cortisone.
I feel like if he's on a snap count, he's probably on like a 20, 24 count. Like he get 24 plays in
like
certain spots.
You're responsible though. I feel like you don't need him. Isaiah Likely has been giving you what he was putting out as far as receiving production goes, and then like you don't want him.
But it's also not like they're forcing him out there.
You can run the ball to compensate. They've been doing just fine without Mark Andrews.
I feel like it's just about how he's been on this team. I'm pretty sure he got drafted the same year that Lamar got drafted, and they have that connection with each other.
Yeah.
I think it's more about just him wanting to be like, no, like if there's a chance for me to go, I'm gonna go. Like if there's a chance that I can get out there,
yeah. But if I'm Harbaugh,
getting out there,
I'm saying no. You sit down. You go over there.
If I'm Harbaugh, I'm like,
you go over there.
If you sure, and the doctors and the team doctors are like, no,
because I want to see this man next year. I want a dynasty if I'm Harbaugh.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I want a dynasty. I want to see your ass next year. It's not like say the Patriots in their most recent trilogy of Super Bowls. If they lost, say Gronk, that's huge. That's a problem. But Isaiah Likely being there, I could use you, Mark, but I don't need you to win football games.
But Mark wants to be there.
I know he wants to be there.
So I think
if anything, I'd be like, sit back, wait. We'll get you in at the Super Bowl.
I'm not bringing him back for a Super Bowl. If he's not used to just getting hit, getting just the contact, I don't need him fumbling in the Super Bowl.
He's a tight end, Tyler.
Cool, yeah, he's a tight end who, again, still needs to get acclimated to getting hit again.
That's stupid.
How's that stupid?
He's not going to fumble.
But Mark, I've seen amazing veterans who got hit, who's been getting hit all season long, start fumbling.
Nah.
Because they came off an injury. And they got, oh shit, that one time. I didn't feel them that one time.
Yeah, and that's most likely because they come back too early and they feel it.
I feel like you let Mark Andrews go. Also, I have the Ravens winning, like, I want to say 35-24. 35-24 Ravens.
I like 35. I like 35 for the Ravens. I got 35-21.
I think it's gonna be a very exciting game. I do think that in the first half it's gonna be a lot closer. I do think a lot of people are kind of like gonna sit there and be like, damn, like this isn't producing the fireworks. And then the second half, I think everything starts to go up a little bit more. Everything starts kind of. I think I don't know. I have the Ravens playing the Lions in the Super Bowl, and I have the Ravens winning the Super Bowl.
Welcome back from halftime.
Halftime. So Buckeyes, Mark. I just want to say this, ladies and gentlemen. We don't give a fuck about that school, that team. Like, you guys are shitty. You guys are not that good. Fuck you. You're gonna be banished back to the shadow realm. Yay!
Michigan
years
sucks.
of banishment. You listen, because
there's a reason why this man left.
There's a reason. Well, he left because
I think
he knew that he wasn't going to get it done again. He was like, oh, the fact that I got it done 3 times is a fucking miracle.
When I think the rumors, like, he wanted to restructure his contract and put a clause in there that they couldn't fire him if they got repercussions from the NCAA.
From the cheating.
I think that was probably a deal breaker because I think Michigan thinks they're going to get a hefty fine.
Yeah.
I think it was probably better. You know, obviously we don't know anything about the investigation at this point. We probably won't know until like the summertime, but I think Michigan in their head thinks that it's better for them to both part ways. So maybe it lessens the blow on Michigan because they let him go to the NFL and Harbaugh gets to coach. He doesn't have to think about it. It doesn't matter to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he might get, subpoenaed or whatever to speak in front of the NCAA, but that's about it.
He'll probably sit there and be like, no, I'm good.
He'll probably send his lawyer.
No, I don't want to do that.
But let's get into the Buckeyes. Buckeyes got a lot going on. We've been busy in the transfer portal, Tyler.
Very busy. It's been a
Alabama is getting poached.
Yes. I do think there's a lot of what's the word? There's a lot of shit that the Buckeyes have just like they're like, yo, a lot of narratives been going around. And we ain't fucking with the narratives.
A lot of people calling for Ryan Day's head. I think
that's dumb.
I don't think
it's dumb. It's dumb. It's lazy. Ryan, a lot of this,
I think that's a very knee-jerk reaction to
sit
if you look at the body
blame.
of work of Ryan Day's career. He's gotten you the playoff multiple times. You've been in positions to go to the national championship. Weren't fortunate. We made it once, right? Under Ryan Day?
Yeah.
And
the
lost.
2020 season.
Yeah. I mean, the guy can get you there. We know this.
So yes, he can get you. It's not only that he can get you there. It's also the fact that you're bringing in recruits. The recruits are being.
Oh my God!
The recruits are coming. The recruits are coming in. It's not even just that. It's not even just transfer portal. Like we're just talking about the people the staff that he's built. The recruits are coming in, and they're going to their final destination, which is the NFL for a lot of them, and they're becoming some of the best players at the next level, which then goes back to when he goes back out to recruit. Oh, this guy played here. This guy played here. And look what they're doing in the NFL. Look at the seasons and the careers they are having. Look at the money that they're signing for and like things like that. So again, a lot of that.
Look at CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Offensive Rookie of the Year. Oh, I don't know if you credit Olave to him, but I mean Marv is going to be a top 5 pick probably. Olave,
Garrett,
was Chase Young a recruit for?
Jace was Jackson Smith-Jigba. He was a first round pick. Again,
J.K. Dobbins,
second round pick. Like again, there's a lot of people since he's taken over that have, in a sense, done a lot. I do think that the first 2 losses to them were very much just defense wasn't right. The first year, everybody was sick. Second year, defense just got their hands put on them, and then last year you just fell up short. Like,
and trust me, they feel that defense. These transfer portal pickups are because of the defense. Especially when you go and poach Alabama defensive players, you're making it a point.
I feel like, but
we need to fix this defense.
I don't think not the defense from last year.
We need a vintage Ohio State defense.
I don't think
the defense was good last year, but
I think the defense was great last year.
Yeah, but the pass rush wasn't exactly what you want it to be.
Which I feel like some of that is just about these players kind of like growing into their frames a little bit more. Like again, a lot of
Jack Sawyer's is undersized pass rusher. I mean JT, I think is the only like force you could say as a pass rusher on that defensive line.
Oh, but I wouldn't say that. I think Jack had a better Jack had a better year pass rushing than JT did at times. I think that the issue, not the issue, but what the Buckeyes were doing and what they did do, a lot of it it didn't really predicate off the fact that they were getting sacks. It's predicated that they were just playing good defense, all around good defense. They were corners were shutting down by themselves, and pretty much the D-line, when it came to the run game, they shut that down too. So I think the Caleb Downs thing is a nice pickup, especially since Josh Proctor is he's moving on. He's going to not sadly, happily, he's moving on. He's going to the next level. Hopefully he accomplishes the things that he wants to accomplish and all that and all that. So again, bringing in Caleb Downs, I think he was a true freshman last year. So you know for a fact that no matter what happens, you have Caleb Downs for at least 2 more seasons, unless he transfers again. But most likely, if everything goes well, he plays great, everybody's balling out, he's looking like this second year, Y'all win a natty. He stays his third year. He'll be a first-round pick that after that third year, he's gone.
He has no more transfers at this point, right? You don't have unlimited transfers.
I don't know how it works. I feel like he has one more. I think he has one more.
No, I'm pretty sure you can't.
I'm
pretty sure you can only transfer once, but the way that you can get to that transfer, and then they don't put a hold on you.
How do I say this? So I know for a fact that DJ was with DJ Ungule. He was the quarterback for Clemson. Then he transferred to Oregon State. Then he just transferred to Florida State this year.
But I think it depends on whether you play or not.
He's played.
He played?
He played. He was their starting quarterback all year long.
I have no idea.
So again, that's why I'm saying I don't know.
But I mean, Caleb Downs, freshman of the year for the SEC, huge pickup.
I think it's a really good pickup.
Former 5-star recruit, number 1 target in the transfer portal, stolen from Georgia.
I feel like it's nice. You have a lot of safeties. But again, I don't think defense was ever really the problem. I do think that,
but it wasn't it's not.
It was a strength.
It's not.
They were a top 5 defense.
Yes, but it's not the defense that you wanted it to be. The defense
you weren't getting sacks.
It's not the defense exactly. It's not the defense that won you the national championship.
A safety's not gonna get you a sack.
No, it's not. But I mean, you could certainly still improve.
I don't think that.
I mean,
the secondary. I don't think anything.
Denzel Burke coming back is gonna be great. That's a great.
As great as it was that we retained so many defensive pieces, especially on the outside, it's also kind of like, damn, because Matthews is amazing. He came in for a little bit while Burke was hurt this year, and he played flawlessly. So I'm not really worried. They have like pieces. Igbinoza, he's another one. There are a lot of pieces. And a lot of those pieces are already melted together. You're adding another safety, and most likely what everyone is kind of hoping for was probably going to happen is probably going to get Sonny Styles to move down the linebacker, and you have Sonny Styles and C.J. Hicks with Cody Simon as your off-ball linebackers, which I kind of do worried about because personally I personally see Cody Simon more as like an edge than I see him as a inside linebacker, and C.J. Hicks, he's a little bit like smaller, doesn't have the frame, the body yet. We'll see what happens by the time the season starts. And again, Sonny Styles, he's a safety. He's also a little bit slimmer. Probably needs to put a little bit more meat. Like you just need to fill out the frame a little bit more there at still.
I think the more interesting conversation to have, though, Tyler, is the
quarterback.
There's going to be a battle in spring camp because you got Air Noland. You just brought in
Julian Sam.
Yep, and
Will
Howard, and then
Devin leave. Devin go. Please go. Please gotta go.
Yeah, I don't think Devin Brown has a chance.
He doesn't. Neither does Keyholtz, which is kind of sad. This sucks. That really does suck because, again, like, these are really...
Well, who knows?
Well, not Devin. Devin is not talented.
Because Keyholtz is a young guy.
He's transferring.
I mean...
If he's smart, he's transferring.
Yeah.
I was like, you want to play? Go transfer.
I feel like, ideally, you want Air Noland to win the job.
Yes.
You want him to win it.
If you ask me,
I don't want like, oh yeah, all these guys were like this past year. Oh yeah, all these guys are pretty close. Like it's really tough to pick one. Like no, I want Air Noland to win this battle.
I say this personally.
That'll make me feel better.
I don't know because again, Julian saying he's also kind of like the one thing that everyone's like, we got to get back to the scramblers. That's what Ohio State is known for. But it's like, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't, I don't know, I hate that because. If you looked at what Ryan Day has done since he's been the head coach, your quarterbacks
from Dwayne Haskins all the way
to CJ
to
Kyle.
CJ and Justin.
Like
Kyle McCord had some good games too.
Yes, Kyle McCord had a really great season, and we downplay it because it didn't end the way that we wanted it to end.
It's not. It was a good season relative to college football. It's not.
It was a great season.
It wasn't a Dwayne Haskins season. It wasn't a CJ Stroud
he didn't throw for 5,000 yards.
Yes.
I'm so sorry, guys.
I mean, when you come out as that being the trendsetter, it's really hard to be satisfied with Kyle McCord.
One time, they had a one-time mess. They had not even a mess up. They had a one time where like, all right, the quarterback wasn't there. And Devin Brown's not the quarterback. I don't think Lincoln Keenholz I don't think he's the quarterback. I 100% do believe that Aaron Nolan is that quarterback, but he was in high school last year, so there's nothing Ryan Day could have done about that. So I do think that if you're looking at it, I'm very excited. I believe that Will Howard will most likely win this job.
I don't want him to though.
I think he most likely wins this job.
I want Aaron Nolan to win the job.
I think Will Howard wins this job. He's an older, like, I think he's like, this is last year eligibility. Like in a sense, I don't want to say he has to go to the league, but he's done with school. He has no more years of eligibility after this. So looking at it, I think that he wins the job, and I think that they're going to try to offensively, they're going to try to do something. They're trying to go back a little bit to the Dwayne Haskins days of just, AO. You got a big arm. Throw it down there. Air it out. Put it on them.
Well, that's another thing you got to think about. You got almost basically a brand new wide receiving core at this point.
Except for no.
So you're losing Xavier Cooper. You're losing Marv. You're retaining Emeka Mbuka.
You still have Brandon Ennis.
But everybody else is either new or hasn't had a large role in the team yet.
And I don't care. Because these niggas are talented.
They can play. They're going to be talented.
I don't care.
They're going to be
talented.
They are talented.
Brandon Ennis, Cardell Tate. It's just, we are getting lucky because, God, these niggas were going to leave. They were going to leave. I'm low-key. I am kind of salty that Ibuka came back. One, because I believe.
Which is weird to say, because he's a phenomenal receiver.
Yeah.
But
because I believe Ibuka is at least a late first, if not an early second round pick. I think Fleming last year, after this year, he's a late first. He's an early second, maybe a middle second round pick. These
is he staying too?
No, Fleming transferred to Penn State.
That's right.
Sad.
Well, that man wants to play. We don't have much playing for him.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, that's why I was kind of upset. Like, Ibuka, you should have just left. Not transferred. You should have just left. You should have went to the league.
It's very weird, very unique. I feel like this is the first year that NIL is going to retain players, because it was always like, okay, if you're like a first or second round pick, you're gone. You're gone after your junior season. Now,
baby, I want to stay around.
Denzel Burke is weird.
First round. He's the best corner.
Yeah,
he was going to be the best corner in this draft.
Emeka Ibuka is weird. Who else stayed? That would have been a high round. Donovan Jackson. I think Donovan Jackson is a first rounder. If not a first round, he's a early second. He's an early second round pick. Donovan Jackson. So I think that's a weird one that he stayed, and he could have easily went pretty high. Travion. Lathan Ransom stayed.
Travion, he would have easily been like a mid second round pick at running back.
It doesn't make any, and especially for a running back, you think they would want to get to their first contract as soon as possible, because clocks on running backs are so much faster than any other
position.
Yeah, look at Dalvin Cook.
But
look at the money he was making, and then you have one season where you get outshined by another running back, and now
he never got outshined.
And Breece Hall's better.
No, I mean when he was in Minnesota, he never got outshined.
No, I'm talking about this year with the Jets.
Okay,
you're going to see his value plummet.
Yeah, but that's why we start ring chasing.
Nick Chubb. I'm a diehard Brown fan.
We could have drafted Travion. That would have been amazing.
Oh my God.
Damn shame.
But you think these guys will want to get to their first contracts as soon as possible, because it's probably more money than they could. Well, Some of these guys might get
depends.
Some of these guys might make more money than their first NFL contract if you're not a first round pick.
Because I think a lot of them, I really do think a lot of these guys are easy like mid to late first, if not early seconds. Ibuka's going early in the second round, and that may be a draft steal, and he's gonna be he would be a second round pick.
It's gonna be a Jackson Smith and Jigba or something like that.
I would say like,
we're like, how did he get that low? Like everybody's like,
what are we doing? But I do think that this is going to be a very exciting year. I do believe this is a make or break. You have to win this year. We didn't even
and then you can think about questioning Ryan Day's job.
Yeah.
I feel like if you lose to Michigan with no Harbaugh, and you have another mediocre, not mediocre. If you have another Kyle McCord season and the team underperforms, his ass is going to be on the hot seat, if not the chopping
I'll say it like this. If this man Will Howard isn't really, I don't need him to throw for a bunch of yards, but if he's not looking good, fuck what the stats are saying. If he's not looking good when we watch the games, bro.
That's why people were on Kyle McCord so hard.
No, people on Kyle McCord because they don't like Kyle McCord.
Yeah, because Kyle McCord never passed the eye test.
I think y'all niggas are tweaking.
The offense was get the ball to Marv, and Marv's going to break free
because he's your biggest receiver.
Yes. But Tyler, is he doing crazy things out on the field that makes you like Justin Fields or C.J. Stroud or even Dwayne Haskins? No, he was never.
Was he working as many weapons as those guys? No,
I would say yes.
No, he wasn't.
He doesn't have a better run game.
I wouldn't say he's working with the same amount of weapons.
He's probably got the same amount of receiving weapons.
Ibuka was hurt through the middle part of the year. So again, a lot of the targets were only Cade Stover, Julian Fleming, and Marv, and most of it were to Marv because they were trying to win Marv the Heisman.
Should have won the Heisman. I think college football overvalues quarterbacks.
I think the NFL overvalues quarterbacks. I think because how do you say this?
Because the team lives or dies by the quarterback in the NFL. In college football is not as much that. A team can have an identity like when Florida State lost their starting quarterback, they could have that identity of our defense is him. Our defense is him. Or a team like the Penn State squad that had Saquon. They lived and died by the run game because Saquon was him. He was that important.
I would honestly say this.
A running back would be more important.
I think if let's say Marv had some crazy number of receiving yards, I do think then at that point you could say, all right, Marv, that's the Heisman.
But he had a couple
and that's
of
what
down
it's going to take.
He had a couple of down games.
I say, yeah, and that's what it's going to take. You're going to, as a receiver, you're going to have a quarterback that's not a big name. So like Tyreek this year with Tua, I do think if Tyreek, because in a lot of people's minds Tua wasn't the MVP. So the only way that wasn't an MVP candidate. So, and Tyreek was going crazy. Tyreek's doing all this shit. So you're going to have that type of year at receiver.
For the people watching those games, we saw Tyreek putting the team on his back.
Yeah. So, but other than that, I do think that it's amazing what Ohio State has done. The football program looks amazing. Another program in the Ohio State.
We're winning the national championship.
Yes, I do.
Fuck you.
Another program, another sports program at Ohio State that's looking really nice is the Ohio State's women's basketball team. They look great. I think a few days ago they beat Iowa.
Caitlin Clarke.
I was just gonna say they beat Iowa.
No.
Okay.
Caitlin Clarke is Iowa.
Okay. I'll just say this, ladies and gentlemen. Those Iowa girls, they are shooters. They be shooting out the gym. Ooh, I was like,
they need a team. Did you see what LSU did to them?
Yeah.
That team last year was dismantled by LSU in the national championship. It wasn't even close.
Do you know what I find a little bit funny? I find it kind of funny that I feel like more people this year are like paying attention more to
because the
like,
national championship was so good. That the Final Four was more entertaining in the women's bracket than the men's bracket. It was.
Shout out to Cody. Cody, is it McMahon? Amazing Ohio State. I think she's like a power forward for Ohio State. I was watching the game. I was like, damn, she really don't want to take no threes. She ain't taking every time she was behind the three point line. She passed that bitch, and then she
was doing what the coach was telling her.
Hey, that's fair. You do what you got to do.
Sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes you got to do what the coach is telling you to do because they know your weakness is better than you.
Yeah, but I will say this. Shout out to them. But transitioning to other basketball things, NBA. NBA trade that, as you said earlier,
it's getting a little spicy.
It is getting spicy.
NBA season is in full swing. Full swing.
As the football season is kind of ramping down.
Yeah.
They're kind of coming into it. Well, not really. All-Star break's coming up. Trade deadline's February 8th.
And basketball's just starting to get good.
Yeah.
You're starting to get your best product on the floor from January all the way up until the end of the year.
I personally don't think you're getting your best product, but
you're starting. You're starting to get those competitive games that go back and forth.
I disagree with that.
Less blowouts than the beginning of the season.
I feel like a lot of the shit that we're seeing now, it just kind of more about. I think what we're seeing now is I think a lot of teams want to try their best to improve their record before the All-Star break. All right, like cool. Like let's see where we're at the middle of this.
Yeah, it's
and
a push.
And readjust. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm a LeBron fan.
Open your mouth.
I do not care.
And suck on it.
I do not care about. I because I'm from Cleveland. I fuck with the Cavs. I think the Cavs are great.
They're on a 8-game winning streak.
I think they're playing tonight.
They're playing the Bucks tonight.
So
they dismantled the Bucks without Giannis, but we'll see. They got Giannis. The Bucks just hired Doc Rivers.
Yes, they did. And
so make sure you bet that the Bucks lose in the second round of the playoffs. That's what Doc Rivers teams do.
You're a hater. But I do think that I think this is gonna be very interesting. I think this is gonna be a very interesting game. I'm very not the Cavs. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting game.
It's gonna be.
I think the Cavs should win this. They just hired a new coach.
It's tough though, because the Cavs lineup is in a precarious spot, especially since.
Is Mobley back?
No.
Is Garland back?
No.
Oh, they'd be fine.
Garland is projected to come back right after the All-Star break. I think
they should trade Mobley.
I think it's not really Mobley. I think somebody is forcing JB to give him the ball more. They try and run the offense through him. When you have better scorers all around him.
How I say this? You can't force nobody. Nobody can force you to do shit if he's not on the team. That nigga, y'all need to trade him.
Because I don't think Garland's a part of the problem at all. I think if anything, he's gonna free up some things with Donovan, and it's gonna encourage more of what they're doing. Because right now you got your bench playing out of their mind. You got dudes like Sam Merrill. Going 7 for 7 and scoring 26 points. Like, Sam Merrill is a good player, but he's not going to be putting up 26 for you every night. You need those night in and night out guys, and Garland's one of those guys.
Yeah.
If you don't force feed the ball to Mobley is a positive. He puts the effort in on the defensive end. He's another lanky body that goes to get you rebounds.
Yeah.
I think the only reason why we're not having issues on the boards is because we're playing bad teams with skinny centers. I mean, we played the Bulls, and Jarrett Allen owned Vucevic. That was crazy. That was the first time Jarrett Allen was out here playing lights out.
I think
he has never put the brakes on a big, aggressive center like that, ever.
Which is a good thing. Good job.
Yeah. And then we played the Hawks. He did a similar thing to Clint Capella.
But he's bigger than Clint. Clint's like a stick.
No, Clint Capella is
not that big.
He's bigger than Jarrett.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Look up his weight right now.
Mark,
I guarantee you got 30, 40 pounds on him.
I think what the Cavs are doing is really good because this is really gonna help JB save his job.
Yeah, well, and they're shooting out of their minds. I think this is the offense that they really imagined this team could be.
It's just they're down the people that they thought that could do it.
Yeah, and I think Garland is going to contribute to this. And it's going to make it even better because Garland is a better distributor than Donovan is. And if Donovan doesn't have to worry about being a distributor, he's a way better shooter. His scoring numbers have been down. Besides the Paris game where he scored 45, he could be more effective if Garland's on the floor. I just don't think forcing the ball to Evan Mobley on the block and stunting what this team is doing is going to help you. I don't know who is giving that order from the top down, but that needs to stop. You're no longer playing this inside-out basketball game. You have George Niang.
He's 10 pounds on him.
He has 10 pounds on him?
Yeah.
Okay. You have dudes like George Niang, Sam Merrill, what's his name from the Heat?
Max Strus.
Max Strus. He's not shooting as
Evan
well,
Mobley's
but
Evan Mobley's not gonna be KD.
No.
Evan Mobley's not.
He never was going to be.
Well, that's what people thought he was gonna be.
Yeah, but people smoke dicks on NBA draft night. you be smoking a lot.
But I think that the Mobley, whatever you think that Mobley was gonna be, he's not gonna be that.
No, you need to tell that man to put on some weight and work on his hook shot.
Actually,
more.
you shouldn't tell that man anything. You should just trade him. You shouldn't have to tell, hey, bye.
But you need.
I don't want to.
No,
bye.
you need another big man.
Bye.
We just lost Tristan Thompson for
Adios.
25 games. We need another big man.
I'm gonna trade you for another big man. Someone that gonna be productive.
Give me. We don't need much. We need Tristan Thompson.
I'm gonna trade you for Mitchell Robinson.
That would not be a terrible trade. That's a perfect backup center because like George Niang is like that Kevin Love replacement because in the tail end of Kevin Love's career in Cleveland, he was not rebounding. He wasn't playing defense. George Niang does none of those things.
Didn't.
But he's a better shooter.
Okay.
He's a much better shooter than Kevin Love right now.
I do think I think a really good trade that I saw was Terry Rozier to the Heat.
That's gonna be.
I think that was a really good trade. That was when I was cooking up trades for the Lakers in my head. That was one of the people that I said I was like, nah, I think y'all should try to go get someone like that.
They shed Kyle Lowry's contract. I think
that
worst
wasn't even getting paid nothing.
The worst fucking thing that happened to the Heat in the finals was having Bam Adebayo run the offense.
Well, they also need a bigger center. They actually need like a true center.
Like Bam is a good player. He's a lot of things, but a point guard, he's not one of them. And the fact that they literally did not have a guy to run the offense.
I feel like because of the way that the NBA is going, and then like again, I think like last night we just saw Embid go for 70. That
was hilarious. That was hilarious. Me and Tyler had a little back and forth about those highlights. We saw it was up against the Spurs, and you know the NBA like Instagram account always posts Victor Wembanyama. You did not see a single Victor Wembanyama highlight.
Yeah, because he got 70 thrown on him.
Yeah,
he got 70 thrown on him. They upset.
Embid, they took him off. They took him off real quick in the first quarter. Embid caught the ball at the top of the key, backed him down a little bit, then threw his hip into Wembanyama's chest. And I tell you what, he went under the rim.
How did he throw his hip into that nigga's chest?
It wasn't even that hard. I'm sorry, not his chest. He just put his hip into Wembanyama's side, kind of like this, you know?
Yeah.
And then Wembanyama ended up under the rim. And then Popovich was like,
Embiid's
nah.
I feel like Embiid's like 280 or something. That nigga's almost
He's
300
like
pounds.
300 pounds.
That nigga's a big man.
Boy.
That's a big man.
He a big boy.
And Wemby's what? Like 19,
He's
20?
Like 230 pounds, 40 pounds, something like that.
And he's like 7 foot. That nigga's lanky.
He's a stick.
So I feel like because of how NBA is trying to go to like, not I want to say positionless ball, but they are kind of going like positions don't matter, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but the Heat didn't have that guy to bring the ball up. Like, regardless of what size he is, there is nobody on that team in the finals that could bring the ball up, and their best option was Bam Adebayo.
I think that this is going to be. I think I want to talk about the Lakers. Well, I want to talk about LeBron. What LeBron can do to get a ring.
That's fine.
To Los Angeles Lakers, what you can do to get LeBron a ring this year. That's how you do it. You got to trade AD. Have to trade AD.
Oh my God.
Got to trade AD.
You just pissed off every single Lakers Nation fan account.
I don't care. Got to trade AD. AD got to be. AD got to go. Like, no offense. It's good that he's playing well. That's great. He's playing well. So that means I can get more back in a trade when I trade him. Him and Cam Reddish. Hey, it's been nice. I know LeBron loves you. I'm going to trade him. I'm going to finalize a deal. And before anything happens, I'm going to call LeBron like, LeBron, we traded AD. And I'm going to hang up on him real fast.
The biggest issue with LeBron teams, and I don't think the young guys, not young guys, but the new additions in the last couple of years, like dudes don't play how they used to play. Like, they don't.
Niggas were averaging 30 before LeBron. Now they averaging 10.
Because they don't know how to play with LeBron.
20.
They don't have the basketball. They don't have the ability. Like, D'Lo is somebody that's not an off-ball guy, right?
LeBron hasn't been playing on ball. LeBron's been like, and this is kind of crazy because
LeBron demands the ball still, no matter where he is, no matter if he's calling for it or not.
Because you niggas ain't doing enough.
He's LeBron James.
Because you niggas ain't doing enough. Make a shot. Break somebody's ankle. Do something.
And he'll put you up. Look what he did to Austin Reeves when he was making shots.
And Austin Reeves was running. He was running the offense. He did everything. He's like, oh no, let AR cook. Which is something I gotta stop doing this because
don't say it. Don't say it.
Oh, I used to say things. I can't say the things.
Yeah,
Tyler, I can't say the things, but I used to say things, and people.
Tyler was saying some pumped up kicks type jokes, and
it wasn't even jokes. I was just feeling it. Like AR was really hitting it, and I loved it. Shout out to Austin Reeves, he's amazing. But no, if I'm the Lakers, I'm trading for contract reasons. I'm trading AD. He's probably, other than LeBron, he's probably the biggest, if not
like
one of the biggest contracts on the team.
I'm seeing trades like Lakers fans are going, give me JaVale McGee, the center is looking bleak.
The fuck I need JaVale McGee for?
They want a center for some reason.
I don't need a center. Well, I think the process would be, all right, you get a center, you bump AD down to the 4. You have in a sense, a true 5.
AD isn't a 5, which is a problem here.
Yeah,
like they were playing their best ball when they had Dwight Howard on the court with Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
that was when he played his best ball, and that was the only time I think throughout his Laker career he was the 4. So
personally, I'm getting rid of him, and I'll make a trade.
Where are you getting back?
With the Celtics. And I'm sending him to the.
You're gonna get Tingus Pingus?
No, I would take Kristaps. I would take Kristaps, and I would take. I'm sending him and Cam Reddish to Boston to get back Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis.
One, they're not gonna give up Porzingis.
All right, you can keep Porzingis. Give me the old man. Give me Horford. Or I get another team involved, and I go get a center from another team. If I'm the Lakers, as great as Anthony Davis is,
I think that's a bad trade.
I think it's a great trade. Jaylen Brown's younger. Jaylen Brown, if Jaylen Brown's given the opportunity to do what he wants to do and run the team, he's going to run the team. He's not going to hesitate.
I don't think he's going to be able to.
I don't have to worry about whether or not Jaylen Brown's going to go get points. Jaylen Brown's going to go get points.
You do. He averages as many points as like a Terry Rozier. He's only averaging less than 24 points a game.
He's averaging 24 a game. Okay.
And then you take Like you said,
he's averaging
the guys
20.
average 20 to 30 on another team, and then they come to LeBron's team, and what happens?
But that's with the old LeBron. We're talking about a new LeBron.
Does he complement LeBron? How do you think he complements LeBron?
I think he complements LeBron because he, especially at this point, this time in LeBron's career, he's not he doesn't, as I don't want to say he doesn't need to be the focal point, but he doesn't, it's like, he's not the main option. There needs to be another main option. The guy that you got to feed, that you got to get the ball to. And if that guy's Jaylen Brown can get it done. I think you see Jaylen Brown's 24 very easily go to about 30, 34 points.
I think
a lot of the issues that you're seeing with Jaylen Brown or throughout his career is because Jason Tatum is the one that, in a sense, they try to feed, they get going, they do everything for. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Jason Tatum is a great player.
He's better than Jaylen Brown. That's why Jaylen Brown's not getting these opportunities.
All right, cool. So if I'm Jaylen, if I'm him, AD, like, it's good.
What do you think of the Kyrie reunion rumors?
I wouldn't do it. I would do it, but I wouldn't. Like, it depends what I can give up.
I think LeBron James needs shooters,
What am I getting?
The Lakers have never gotten
a shooter.
A whole. No,
but
LeBron needs a platoon of shooters.
It's not just about shooters, though.
Like if you put LeBron in a situation and ran the Cavs offense right now, and you had a platoon of Dean Wades and Sam Merrills that are shooting 42% from the field.
Can I give you my right now? If I had to build a team around LeBron, at the 1 I'll keep Reed. At the 2,
Reeves.
My bad. I said Reed. At 2, I would have Dejounte Murray. He's a scorer, plays defense.
That's a bad
good
fit.
Dude. No, he's not.
That's a terrible fit.
That's a great fit. He doesn't need the ball. He doesn't need the ball in his hand.
He does.
No, he does not.
He does.
He's been playing with Trae Young for multiple years. He does not.
And they run separate platoons. How much Hawks games have you watched this year?
This year, none.
They don't run Trae Young and DeJounte Murray.
Well, we're gonna figure it out.
They very much do.
Good thing. Austin Reeves doesn't need the ball in his hands either. So Austin Reeves can just play as a 2, but he's not your 2.
I think you more so benefit from guys that are shooters.
I need defense. And Dejounte Murray's a shooter. So if I don't need shooters, I need scorers.
Defense is a team effort. Thing.
I don't need shooters. I need scorers. There's a difference. A guy that can get a 3, that can get 3, cool. But can that guy who's shooting 3 put the ball on the floor and go inside and get a layup?
Maybe they can bail out Tyler Hero.
Nah, that nigga don't play defense. Nah, I want DeAndre Murray. I want Murray. I get Reeves, Murray. Then I'll have the man, the myth, the legend himself, DeMar DeRozan. He went from
that's a terrible fit.
Nah. He went from I can never beat LeBron.
You're making my league teams. You need to stop.
Yeah,
it.
These are some
this
great teams.
This is a really bad team.
This team will win a championship.
In real life, this team is going to be a play-in tournament team.
Yes, it is.
No,
this is a great team. This team's going to win the West.
No, that's a terrible team.
No, I think.
And you don't have Anthony Davis on this team.
I don't need Anthony Davis. I need who's the center for whoever the center for the Pelicans is? Not Zion.
Valanciunas?
Valanciunas.
I've been wanting Valanciunas on my team for a while.
So, see, you like that. You thought that was good.
Either Valanciunas or Vooch.
Yes.
Because that's
I just need a rebounder.
That's a big man that can rebound, but also shoots 35, 40% from 3.
I don't need the 3-point shots. Here and there, maybe.
No, but they shoot a couple.
Yeah.
Like if you make
him or Lopez from the Bucks,
he got exposed when the Cavs put 30 on him. He got exposed.
Jarrett
Allen
I don't like
took
you
that
sitting
man to
here
school.
trying to be logical about my unlogical teams.
But I mean, a lot of people. Brook Lopez plays tough defense. He's a great rim protector. He
and that's
shoots
all
well
you
from
need.
3.
If you're the Lakers, all you need is someone to be able to put their chest put their hand in
So go call Dwight
Buddy's
Howard
chest.
from the Bangkok whatever's he's on.
But he having fun in Thailand.
He's
having fun.
He's calling up LeBron to try and get LeBron to Thailand.
He having fun in Thailand. He love it out there.
I wonder how much money they pay that man.
Not enough. He having a.
You think he just loves it there?
Yeah, I think that he's like, damn, this is a different environment.
He's just like, damn, I'm in a tropical climate.
Exactly.
I like the weird food. I like the weird people.
Exactly. He's having fun.
He's probably got. I don't know if he's married. I don't know. If he's single, he's probably getting bitches. He's on private jet. Like every time I see him on Instagram,
something like that.
He's got a private jet. He's in a private jet drinking an expensive bottle of wine and smiling from cheek to cheek. Like that's the retirement plan right there. The Bangkok whatever's.
Bangkok Tigers or something.
Tigers, yeah.
I don't know. But I don't know. Shout out to the Lakers. I think the Lakers win the champ this year.
I want to bring something else up.
What's up?
A team that's very surprising.
Lakers, Boston.
Oklahoma
Finals.
City Thunder.
I don't think that's surprising. I think that's just finally.
It's not surprising that they have a good record. It's surprising that they have the best record in the West.
Number one, yep.
And on top of that, Chet Holmgren and Shea, and they're starting to build a core because last year they started to get all this momentum because, Shea and the other young guys started to put it together. But what happened, since they didn't have a formidable core, they fell apart. But I think Chet Holmgren is going to give them some type of stability. He's a playmaker. He can score some points. Like he right now as a rookie, he's giving you 20 something, I believe, right? Can you look that up for me?
He's not a rookie.
He is a rookie because he didn't play.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, because Joel Embiid won Rookie of the Year, but it was second. He was his second year.
That's so fucking stupid. That's so dumb.
Ben Simmons did the same thing.
That's so fucking dumb. That's so dumb. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
NBA fixed that.
Yeah, but I'm excited for the NBA. It's huge. I think the Thunder are going to. They're going to be the Sacramento Kings.
He's averaging 17.
They were last year. Yeah, 17 points,
7 rebounds, 2 assists.
Good for a rookie.
51.1 field goal percentage.
I think they need that. Plus, it takes a lot of pressure out of their young guys. They're beating good teams. They're destroying the bad teams like they're supposed to.
So right now, the Thunder are 30-13. They're tied. Well, they have the same record. They have the same record as the Timberwolves. And the Nuggets are...
The Timberwolves?
Yes.
Anthony Edwards is putting on a freaking clinic.
So 30-13, both of those teams. The Nuggets are 31-14.
The Nuggets are going to have a rough time.
Clippers are 28-14. I
got to look into the Clippers more because a lot of people are putting a sauce on the Clippers, and I'm apprehensive.
And they very luckily beat the Lakers last night, I think, or 2 nights ago.
Yeah. It was rivalry week, and the NBA was doing this thing where they had the Lakers and the Clippers played each other, the Nets and the Knicks played each other. Like they had a whole rivalry week, which I think is nice. It was nice.
It's a nice little twist up.
Yeah, and right when the teams are starting to feel themselves, get their identities, you're starting to have these. You got a week of competitive games. It was great.
So after the Clippers, you have the Pelicans at 26-18, Suns at 25-18, Kings at 24-18, Mavericks 24-19, and then 9th place in the West, you have the 22-23 Lakers. 22 and 23 Lakers.
This trade deadline is going to be huge.
I think so. Right now, the Cavs fourth place in the East. 26-15. Guess who's 5th place in the East?
Knicks.
27-17. The Heat are 24-19.
And we're gonna see how that trade goes too.
Pacers are 24-20.
They traded old buddy RJ Barrett and
Emmanuel Quickly.
And they let go of what's his name that went to Dayton.
Who?
Like they got rid of a lot of guys that they drafted.
I don't know nobody's name. I knew the Quickly and the RJ trade.
The guy was on the team last year, but they let him walk as a free agent. They didn't resign him.
What, Obi Toppin?
Obi Toppin.
Yeah,
like I'm just saying, like the Knicks are like changing up the core.
Yeah,
it's gonna be an exciting basketball season.
Everything's coming to a head. Football's coming ahead.
We got you.
Everything's
covered.
We bringing a lot. We're bringing a lot of things to you. Shout out. Fuck you, Duplexi. You won, but fuck you.
Fuck you, Michigan. You still suck.
Yeah.
Everybody have a great night.
Bye.
Peace out.